Come follow me down this step.
Welcome back to the third episode of It's About Damn Time. Appreciate y'all joining us here. We are talking about some great stuff today. As always, I should say, we always got some good stuff to talk about. Mr. July Winter, Jay Winter, whichever he chooses, is actually going to be taking the mic and actually letting us know what he got on his mind today. So, my friend, do your thing.
All right. Without any further ado, I've already been introduced, so thank you for that, brother. Thank you for that warm sentiment. I want to start off by saying thank you to all my friends, my close friends, that decided not to listen to me, and also, to Tom, you know what I'm saying? Whoever that guy is that made Facebook that lets everybody know it's your birthday when you don't want anybody to know. Yesterday, I celebrated my big 3-0. Good gang.
Hey,
I'm a little hungover today. People understand that, but I will keep it professional. We're gonna give that quality product. But yeah, beautiful time. My girl actually got me some nice things, man. And it was just a vibe. With gaining a little bit more age, every birthday you have, you kind of use that as like a reflection, like a period or a revelation, you know what I'm saying, of some sort. That's what I do anyway. Just to kind of measure, what you got going on and where you've been and what you're trying to accomplish and things like that. And it just made me think about, how we need to value the simple things, which kind of ties into my topic about just understanding, what really matters. I want to get into, you guys are familiar with Sister Aunt Jemima, right?
Oh yeah, love syrup.
Are y'all familiar with Sister Aunt Jemima?
Yeah, I love
Talking about syrup, right? My syrup lady, right?
Yeah, syrup. Yes, syrup. Yes, my brother. Yes,
prefer her over Miss Buttersworth.
Well, excuse me, not Aunt Jemima, known as Aunt Jemima, but officially known as Nancy Green. Okay, real person.
Oh my God, she has a real name.
Yeah, real person. Nancy Green. Basically exploited. So I want to direct your attention to actually some literature you can pick up on this. It's called Slave in a Box. That's the name of the book. It was published in 1998, I believe. But great read. I'm almost to the end of it, but great read. It's about basically the central place in where all of this took, and how they used it to actually sell, merchandise to their consumer. So first and foremost, like I said, shout out to Nancy Green's family. I believe they had some legal, I don't want to get too involved with it, but they had some issues with a lot of the stuff that was going on. So she's a real person, Nancy Green, and she actually has relatives that still are being affected by this basically blackface figure, you know what I'm saying, that has been sold and monetized and marketed to the
exploitation.
Exploited. And that's no big alarm there. We know that we've been being exploited as a culture. It is well known that we influence a lot of the nations and what people perceive as acceptable, cool, hip, whatever. And of course it's sold in a box. Which was concerning to me, was more concerning than Nancy. I encourage you to get the book, read it. It's a great read, very insightful. But not only Nancy Green, it's so many others, that was basically put on a box. Like, what's more comforting than to know that the person in your kitchen is colored and making sure your food is delicious? I mean, what is more systemically racist? Like, what you were selling a slave in a box, you know what I'm saying? And you're marketing it to these these so-called middle class, white women, they were never in the kitchen. You think about this. Think about during this time, white women in the kitchen cooking. Were they empowered and washing dishes and making? No, that wasn't their duties. They had even up to recently, Paula Deen. I'm from the South. I'm from Georgia. I know how it goes down. It's rumors, just a side note, it's rumors that Paula Deen actually confiscated some of my grandmother's recipes. All right, but I ain't gonna get into that's another topic. You know what I'm saying? But you get down there, man. You get in that kitchen, you realize who's really back there, and it ain't Paula. All right, but just to say they marketed this to that class and it made it feel comfortable. Of course I'll buy this. I don't know. The original company was selling flour, right? So their whole thing was, just selling flour to various vendors and things like that for different purposes. And what they realize is that they have this surplus amount of flour. Like, what do we do with this flour that we have? You know what I'm saying? Like, we got so much flour. What we can do with the remnants of this, the leftovers? We can sell it. What can we do? It's flour. Let's add some salt. Let's add some other ingredients. Let's add some other sorcery to this flour. and let's just make it so convenient to where all you got to do is add water. And now you got pancakes. We can market pancakes. We can sell pancakes. It's a proven and effective method. It works. Anybody can make it. All right. How do we sell this? We put it out to some fairs. Nobody's gravitating toward this. Nobody wants this pancake. But then here comes your saving grace, Aunt Jemima. Now, they used to have these shows where individuals were blackface, and they made basically fun of our mannerisms and things like that, right? What the name of these shows are? They're Sin. What are they called? You know what I'm talking about? The Sin.
I've like heard of the show or like these. I've seen
minstrels. They're minstrels. They're called minstrel shows.
Oh, okay.
And what they do is they, the white people put on blackface and things like that. And, they come out doing all these mannerisms and, making fun of our character.
Imitating
to them, which they're still doing to this day and exploiting us. Shots at Disney, bang, bang, ammo. But we'll get to you another time. You ain't getting away Mickey Mouse. Because you look like blackface. You are a blackface character. You even got the white gloves on. You ain't even change it. You ain't even try and change it. Disney sicko. But let's get back on topic. These guys went to the minstrel show. They got the Flower Corporation. They're trying to make things work. These guys are doing a show, and one of the blackface characters basically yells out, "The Aunt Jemima, she's in town." And they were like, "Oh my God." Not only do we got a great marketing scheme and a marketing plan, we could put a person to it. Here comes the unlucky victim here in all of this, Nancy Green. Nancy Green. She's the perfect person. Her slogan was "Eyes in town, honey." They had her flipping pancakes at festivals and fairs. Crazy, right? Imagine, side note here. This is around the same time period where you got people like Frederick Douglass walking around handing out pamphlets. You know what I'm saying? Because people at the fair don't want them to put up an African American exhibit. You know what I'm saying? On, things that concern the African, heritage and things like that. They don't want them informing people. This is all going around in the same time. Just to give you some context, these jokers in the same exact place at the same exact time. You know what I'm saying? So this is how messed up America could be, But anyway, they find her and she's flipping these pancakes, and guess what, man? At the fair, she's a smash. She's a smash. Everybody loves her. Eyes in town, honey. Flipping your pancakes. They even made a backstory for this lady. Now, remind you, Aunt Jemima's a real lady named Nancy Green. She got a real history, a real past, a real life. But we want to promote our side of it. Oh, she was a colonel's kitchen aide. You know what I'm saying? After the war, Virginia. She served her country, and flipped pancakes for all the greats. What? What? Are you serious? In front of my face? You gonna do that to me? And yeah, they monetized her, they sold her, they packaged her up, slave in the box, put her in these middle class households where the wife she's feeling empowered. You know, she got a black woman in the box making her pancakes. You know, the thing's gonna come out delicious. You know, all I gotta do is add water. You know, it just goes to show, just not even her. Uncle Ben's. You see Uncle Ben's, right? Uncle Ben's got a backstory.
They all got backstories.
I forget Uncle Ben's real name. I apologize. But we can get that for you. But Uncle Ben was real. They gave him a fake story. You know what I'm saying? The Quakers, the oatmeal, the grits. You know what I'm saying? They all use that, and it was that stereotypical minstrel figure, that Mickey Mouse figure, that blackface figure. You look at all these characters, they have these symbolisms, the symbolism that we spoke of earlier. That's just kind of congruent along the times. It's never changed. It's become more hidden, well hidden. You know what I'm saying? Like it's more subconscious than anything now. Now, go ahead.
I'm just gonna say briefly. I don't even know if it's so much that it's subconscious anymore. You know, because so for instance, let's kind of look at something a little bit more modern with what's going on, but Kanye West, with everything that's going on with him right now. I mean, you got people walking around literally talking about this dude is crazy. You got people literally talking about this dude is crazy. Like, and let's think about his situation here, what's going on, his surroundings, the people that he surrounds himself with, people that are glorified by their appearance and all these different things. You almost kind of forget who you are as a person, your identity and things like that. So in comparison to Aunt Jemima or Nancy Green, now that I am a little bit more informed of, they use her figure, they use her, that scenario, because okay, pancakes by itself, they're boring. But if we put this figure behind it that makes it seem that it's so much more great than it actually is, then now we're on to something. Where I'm going with Kanye West, we all know that Kanye West, he been going through some things, but comparing it to this situation,
it's very, in my opinion, it's very dismissive.
It is very dismissive
for us as a whole to condemn Ye. We can't pretend like, all right, I understand we don't really know these artists and things like that on a personal level, right? So what we go off of people's music. You know, most of the time artists, we judge them based off of their content, what they talk about, and how it resonates with us. And just musically, as humans, we want truth. If we hear sincerity and truth in your music, we're more receptive to it. We enjoy it a little bit more because it's like a pure art form, you know. Kanye has always been known for having a kid-like tantrum at times, right? We know that he will say what's on his mind at any given time, like Bush is racist and doesn't like white people. Taylor Swift didn't have a better album than Beyonce. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, we understand his character. So with that being said, we know that Kanye is going to say whatever he's going to say. Now, not to say, you know, his condition, quotations, his condition, because I feel like we all suffering from depression. You know, I feel like we're all suffering just because we haven't experienced to the level, you know what I'm saying, of other individuals or had the same responses. We're all dealing with these emotions as human beings. We have to walk this life. Now, not to say nothing's wrong, not to say that, you know, he isn't sick or it didn't play a part in it. There's a lot of truth if you listen to his rants, to what he's saying. And it's not a bunch of stuff that's inconceivable. If I'm Kanye and I'm coming into the game and I'm okay with all of this foolishness, and then I get to a point to where I want to change my life, that I'm like, okay, I see the road I've been traveling on is a path deferred. You know, like I see that this is the type of place that I don't want to end up. and I don't want my children subjected to it too. You know what I'm saying? He understands that. He's growing. So now he's starting to see his wife, which propelled them to astronomical heights financially. You know, like their culture, their traditions. He's starting to see that going on with his children. They're prepping his daughter right now to do, you know, modeling and videos and things like this. This guy he's going off. As a black parent, I feel like shit, he's going off. Hey, listen, I'm not crazy. Number one, and if I am crazy, it's because, yeah, we all crazy. Whatever. I'm not putting my daughter in these compromising situations because she's not going to be like you, Kim. You know what I'm saying? I feel like you said, we spoke off camera about how they give you the tools to destroy yourself. You don't have to look for those. We knew from the jump, from the get-go, from the very beginning of this Kanye and Kim, you know, we were skeptical. We were frightened because we seen that he had reached a different level. You know, we see these guys break through all the time. We see our black guys break through all the time. We see the Bill Cosby's break through. We see the Martin Lawrence's break through. We see the Chappelle's break through. We see these guys break through, and then all of a sudden, he's crazy. He's on crack.
Oh yeah.
He's unstable. We have to wake up. We have to wake up. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that he's perfectly healthy and everything he's saying makes sense. But I just feel like as an artist, man, a lot of times you're speaking from a different psyche. You're speaking from a different perspective on your mind, a creative aspect. You're not necessarily being the most rational. You're painting with colors. You know what I'm saying? You might not be painting with that logic, but that doesn't mean your point should get lost. You know, like I get what he's saying. Yo, these people are saying I'm crazy. They don't want me to have any influence over my daughter's or my children's life and this, that, and the third. They don't want me having no influence over this. So how do we get it? How we get out of this? Oh, we got to discredit him. We got to get custody of the children. We got to do this. We got to do that. He cannot be viewed, like I said earlier, he can't be viewed as human. He got to be viewed as something else. He got to be viewed as a crazy person, which is almost not human. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta dismiss him to a level to where no matter what he says, oh, it doesn't matter. It doesn't count. You're voiceless just because you're sick. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the problem with a lot of our society right now. We got kids being diagnosed in school with ADHD, ADD. We giving these guys all these titles when really they just need a father to whip they behind. Really what they need is somebody to sit down and convey that message to them in a way they can be received. You know what I'm saying? Someone with the patience. Instead of just putting a label on them, now you done put them in a box. Slave in a box.
Yeah. I'm gonna jump on it real quick and then I'll let Petty get his sense in. Just in comparing what you know, that scenario, Kanye West scenario to Nancy Green scenario, it's crazy because these people honestly they have been exploited in a sense, and I believe that Kanye West. I mean, people can sit there and say, well, Kanye West, you know, he got all this money and all this stuff, he's good to go. But I look at that, I compared it to that movie Undercover Brother, where they put the white she-devil in front of him, and he was literally having to like.
Oh, so are we calling KK?
I mean, look, you can call her whatever you want to call her. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that she's at the house trying to force him to eat mayonnaise on his sandwich and stuff like that. But my thing is this, man. Like, they have chalked him up to somehow to being. He's never, in my eyes, been a stable person. I think when his mother passed away, I think that definitely took a big toll on him. Of course, with other things as well, but. Kanye West, I don't think he's absolutely crazy. I just think that there is a picture that, a picture that they're trying to paint around him that's really giving him a bad rep right now. But Petty, you was gonna say something. What was you gonna say?
Well, I was actually preferring to just jump back on topic, so I'll just speak very quickly. My only concern with the Kanye thing that is the perception of his mental instability and the correlation to his Christian faith. So that's my only concern, because you already look at a world divided on religion as it is. And with him being so outwardly about his Christian faith and then having these mental episodes, I guess if it was what they're calling them, that's my only concern, is like that people don't lose, let the information and the facts of things get lost in translation along the way. So, but as far as, what was the author of that book?
Which one? To my book?
Yeah.
Emma Manning. Manring.
Right. Maurice Manring. Okay. I just want to make sure we give, credit out there.
Yeah.
Because you said the title, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, so like he said, like Jay said, definitely go out there and grab that. I have not read it, but it's definitely on the reading list.
Go ahead.
No, what's that?
No, go ahead.
Oh, as far as my opinions and thoughts on it, I think you guys spoke beautifully. I understand what has happened here, and I understand the exploitation of this woman who was, I'm sure, severely underpaid. If she was paid at all, I can only assume she was, room and board where things were taken care of, and I'm sure her family was not taken care of for the long haul and things like that. So my only thing is this a matter of capital, or is this a matter of ethics? Is this a matter of people upset because she wasn't paid or given the things that she may have deserved based on what the capital was? Because it's really no different than being a label for something. If I'm a brand ambassador, I'm just looking to get paid what I feel my image is due. So for me, it's not so much as a black-white thing. It's more so as did the family did they receive the money, or were they cheated out of it? I don't know that.
So the deal with the whole thing behind being exploited is being treated unjust. You know what I'm saying? Or impartial. Right?
Yeah.
In a business, in this predicament, in a business type of way. So,
excuse me.
Of course, if you're going to monetize or benefit off of anything that someone does, whether it's female, male, black, white, green, or whatever, they're entitled to certain things if they're not to feel cheated or done wrong. You know what I'm saying? So if you're just going to exploit an entire culture, right? That's where the problem comes in. Not only did you exploit Nancy Green, but she wasn't the only one. Okay, she's just one of the one of the many. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's just one. So you've done this systematically throughout our entire origin on the face of America. You know what I'm saying? On this here continent which we live now. You've done that from the beginning of time. The problem comes in is, how do you fix that? Now you're saying that you're not wrong. You've used her likeness, her character. Of course you didn't pay her fair wages. You named the company after her. Once you saw that she was bringing in the dough, bringing in the bag, guess what you did? You changed the name of your company to Jemima Mills. Like, what? You gonna change the name of your company now? I get it. You took, the representation off it's too late. It's already ingrained in us. You've already got all of our money. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was in my kitchen. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so I'm going to play devil's advocate, right? So I hear what you're saying systematically. So systematically, can you not see how it could have played a mental part on the White household? Because if they're saying that the reason why we bought this is because we wanted to make food like a black woman, what does that tell that white woman? It tells you that your culture and your cooking aren't worth it.
They make Miss Buttersworth.
but they weren't buying Miss Buttersworth. For the ones that are buying my Aunt Jemima, Miss Buttersworth isn't good enough, clearly. Right?
Right.
You get what I'm saying? I'm only playing devil's advocate. I'm just saying that we have to see it from I just want our podcast to see it from every spectrum. I wanted to see, yes, it played a massive part in everything that happened back in that time frame on the Black community. It took a toll on them mentally, emotionally, spiritually. But if I'm a white person and I have to go and I have to, in that time frame, it's essentially lessening yourself. It has to be, right? Because at that time, you feel like you're superior to the brown skin anyway. Now I'm bringing it in my kitchen to feed it to my kids because mine aren't good enough.
But see, that the only way that doesn't work is because the only reason I feel like that theory wouldn't work is because they feel inferior to us. They don't feel superior.
I agree.
They feel inferior. So of course I'm gonna buy in a market. I'm not gonna let them know.
But that's it. See, but they do know, because who do you think was bringing their groceries to them back then?
But I still don't have to admit that to you. I can.
No, you're not gonna verbally do it. But you think if I'm pulling up on you and I'm like, yo, you eating the same thing I'm eating. Okay? But I mean, excuse me, but you feel what I'm saying? Like you feel some type of way, like, yo.
And they then still look at you like you don't belong. You don't deserve this, that, and the third. You are being treated equally.
But you're sending mixed messages is what I'm saying. So now if I'm the brown skin, I'm like, wait, either they are envious of us or they hate us. Which one is it? Now that's where the cast of doubt is. And when you cast doubt, that's where you leave room for things to change.
Okay. I get what
I mean, because think about it. If you believe in something wholeheartedly, right? Your whole life, 20, 30 years plus, you strong in the game. I've lived this my whole life. There's zero doubt. If I'm coming in trying to change your mind, I'm like, it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. I'm gonna keep chipping. But the second I see you, that look in your eye, like you got a question about something I said, boom, I'm in there. I now know that there's a little bit of doubt in your mind, and now I can keep chipping at that same area. Boom, 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 boom. Next thing you know, instead of it just being a look, you're going to be like, well, let me ask you a question. And then I'm going to be like, bam, got him. You feel what I'm saying? It's the same thing. That's why we may not like the process and the pace of the process and our progress, but we can't deny the progress. We don't like the pace.
What I don't agree with is the illusion that so much has changed. Now, I understand that this is the thing with America, right? This is my thing with America, society as a whole, right? We're so used, the majority of the classes are so used to living in a world where they have to be in survival mode 24/7, right? Where they're always defending theirs and trying to get up this hierarchy and become something, and everything's just designed to pull them back. They're trying to they look at things differently. Now, so when you look at a society like that, and then you couple that with a society that has done horrible things, right? Like that's, to me, it's equivalent to saying your child comes home, right? And they have a report card and it's all F's on it, right? They're like, look at my report card, Dad. You're like, oh, you got all F's. Like, what are you doing in class? This is the worst thing you could do. I can't believe you. And then they say something like, well, Dad, at least I didn't kill anybody today. It's like, wait a minute. Like, what are we equating? What are we doing here? That doesn't measure up. I get that we've come a long way, but don't think just because we're not being just overtly and in the open, literally just disrespected, spit on, sold on post, worst case scenario, being lashed on the back and in a cotton field still. Don't think that things have gotten that much better. Yes, it has gotten better from the worst case scenario, but what are we comparing it to? I'm not going to be grateful for that. I'm not going to be content with that, because if you do that, then that means that there's no room for growth ever. You could be like, well, Jews, you shouldn't be complaining. At least you're not in those camps. Like, wait a minute. What? Just because I'm struggling here, don't compare that to the Jewish camps. That's a whole nother level. Yeah, y'all was disgusting for that, but the world, don't think the world has changed, because guess what? Beneath the surface, just because it's not being done, it's more of a feeling now. You could walk in the room and tell, hey, I don't think my presence is wanted. And for some odd reason, I can't explain why. Why does it, and that's, whew. Is everybody good? I can't see it. I can't see the racism. I can't see it anymore. I used to be able to see it. You know, they'd look at me, they'd spit on me. Oh, okay, I know who you are. You know, like we used to could tell. Now it's just underground. They feel that way, they think that way, and they wish every second. You can't tell me I'm the supervisor of a Fortune 500 company. I'm African American, and I got this white boy working under me whose family traditionally, you know what I'm saying, has had a hierarchy where they've been in charge, and now I'm in charge. Like, listen, that's a problem.
Here's my question. This is my question. My question is, what, in layman's terms, why does it matter? And if someone is not trying to harm you, if someone is not trying to physically affect you in a sense that you know, putting you in danger, why does their opinion matter about how they perceive you, perceive me, perceive him? Why does that ruffle our feathers so much?
Hold on. It only matters when those perceptions are followed by actions. That's when it matters.
And that's
what I'm saying. So that's why it matters. But hold on real quick, because I don't want, my mind's messed up. So I have to talk to Jay. So Jay, the thing about that is, right, is that we have to learn to celebrate accomplishments. I get it. You're saying that it doesn't seem like we've come so far. It just seems like it's suppressed a little. But actually, if anything, having Trump and dang it, I said his name. Having that guy in office, it's been more people feeling comfortable about putting their racism out there. So if anything, the last 4 years, we've seen a lot more of it be uncovered than hidden than it had in the past. I agree, they had just been undercover. But if you look at this last 4 years, they out there. They don't care. No, I don't like black people. No, I don't like Spanish people. Because they feel confident in saying that. So let me say that. But we have to. So for instance, your child, like you said with the Fs. Now, say he came home with all Fs on one report card. Now, 8 weeks later, this is however many weeks it is, he come back and he has 7 Fs. Now he's got 5 Fs and 2 Ds. Now, you have got to celebrate those 2 Ds because he now knows what it feels like to be celebrated. Okay, you made some progress. It's still not the level of standards where I know you can accomplish and reach. But I'm really proud that you brought those 2 grades up. It's not about being grateful for the little progress. It's about showing that you can smile in the face of negativity. It's about saying that it's about that little bit of moment where everything's not bad for a second. Because think about when you used to get in trouble, right? You say you brought home some bad grades. You knew it wasn't the mental that really effed you up. It was knowing from the moment that teacher handed you that report card and you looked at it and you saw them grades, from the moment you had to see your parents, you was going to get in trouble. The mental instability in that moment, you were like, man, bro, I already know I'm in trouble. And even worse, you at school, so you had to play it off. So now you're in the face of other people like, nah, my parents ain't gonna care that much. Nah, shoot. Like, but in your heart, you like, oh my goodness, I'm gonna get my tail toe off. So what I'm saying is that we don't stay still and be okay with where we are. We just appreciate the progress on the way to the next goal and the next thing that we have to tackle. That's all I'm saying.
So this, I hear you. You know, I agree with you. Because I agree. I respect your opinion. I agree with you. I just have to stand on my 10 toes. You know, I got.
Oh no. That's why I love you for real.
I just feel like, bro, like if we're I understand how that may fit the analogy that I presented you, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna kick another one at you. All right. So as far as I get what you're saying about enjoying the progress, like acknowledging it, right?
Mm-hmm.
I understand that concept. My only caveat to that is say this is not a report card. Say this is more of like a contact sport. Say this is like football, right? Say you catch the pick six, you're running back, you got no one in sight. And what happens? Before you hit the goal line, you start celebrating, right? And all of a sudden, right before, because you think you're good, right before you get across that goal line, you drop the ball and get tackled because you were playing around celebrating, not knowing that you still in the game.
Mm-hmm.
You don't. This is not this is not your time to celebrate. They celebrated. You know when they celebrated? They celebrated on around that Juneteenth area when they started when they got them all to Texas and they freed them up and everybody started going back to find their relatives and find their families after the war. So you know they celebrated. You feel me? We celebrate that every year. Where we a lot of people have been. You know what I'm saying? Like for those from those areas, but now it's more of a a social trending thing, so everybody's more woke to it now. But we had those things. Even to this day, we celebrate in ways that we don't know. Like when we have family reunions, you know what I'm saying? That's a tradition that stemmed back from that area. You know what I'm saying? We might have not known we were celebrating Juneteenth, but inadvertently we was all meeting up with our ancestors and our family to reunite and to make sure we knew who was who and washing the graves. If you ever went to a church in the South and you remember homecoming, you would go down to the church, you do homecoming, you'd eat, you do all type of activities, but one thing would be you would wash the graves. You go take care of your elders. You go clean the graves off. You know what I'm saying? Like you get rid of the shrubs and stuff. You go revisit your ancestors. We have so many traditions that we don't even know that correlate with this time because we've been lost. Yep. You know what I'm saying? We've been severed. But a lot of things we still do. So with that being said, we gotta focus more on not celebrating right now in the face of this adversary. We got to be more focused and content on a bigger goal because we've celebrated it. It's cool. Yep, great. We're moving along, but don't get too hung up in that because that creates that complacency. You know what I'm saying?
Of course,
when you
balance
let
is
people
key.
say that, when you let people get away with saying that to you, when you let someone say, well, you know, it's not that bad because I'm not coming from me and you. I'm coming from, you know what I'm saying, an outside perspective. They come to, what are you complaining about? Or things are so much better. Like, you need to relax, man. Like, you know, we all just trying to get along. No. I remind you that you are not me. So you need me here. Mm-hmm. Because if you're the lowest level individual that's in a trailer park somewhere, you feel me, like struggling like the rest of us black people are struggling, you're synonymous with our level of struggle, you still got one card. And that card is at least I ain't them. I still have that privilege. And I can exercise that privilege. We just talked about how somebody exercised that privilege with 236 felonies, still out here free and on the loose, convicted 11 times, 27 years old. How are you free, my man?
In one of the toughest counties in America.
In the toughest county in America.
Yeah.
County.
Like, come on. Sheriff Grady's known around the United States type shit.
So don't play this game with me. Don't play this game with me about how things have changed and how we've come so far. Yeah, you guess what? You're right. I know you sad that you can't say shut the hell up, nigger, get in my car. Or shut up, Betty, go write the Constitution. Can't say nothing like that no more. You know what I'm saying? Like you ain't getting away with that. Sidebar, Betty, go write the Constitution. You know that's how it went down.
Cool. Yeah,
I feel what you're saying, bro. I understand what you're saying. Like you're right. We celebrate the small things. The fight isn't over.
Yeah, but we gotta have balance.
It's balance.
You know what I mean? That's that humble hungry. When you get to a goal, you don't allow that to fulfill you. That should make you hungrier. You stay humble, keep your eyes on the prize, and keep it moving.
But y'all feel me, right? Like I don't want to.
Yeah.
No, I totally figured. And I think that was great correlations as to, you know, tying it back to Nancy Green and her situation. It's one of those things where a lot of people are just being taken advantage of. It started back then, still going on today. Do we have any answers as to how we can truly try to stop the exploitation of Black people?
Make them pay. Make them pay for it. You want it? Matter of fact, you don't want it. You've been taking it. You've been consuming it. You know, so you want it. Guess what? Pay for it like you do everything else. It wouldn't be criminal. You could walk into Walmart and buy whatever you want to walk out. It's fine. It's when you walk in that store and then you take and you don't give back to from whom you took it from to uplift them. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
to provide a financial way for them to grow, you know, and be financially stable amongst themselves without you. You know, you let them operate within you, you know?
Should the organization or the company itself that is tied, the Aunt Jemima company, should they donate a substantial amount of money to a Black driven organization?
Yeah, sponsor
Unless it's small businesses, no, that will do nothing. Unless it's small businesses, no, they need to pay the family, pay the lineage, pay the lineage.
Of course, pay the family, but you indebted to more than the family because the family. This is where we get disconnected, and this is another problem. This is where we get disconnected as a people. You don't progress without me progressing. I don't progress without you progressing. Mm-hmm. This is the notion. You got these stars, you got these athletes, you got all these high figure, Black Americans out here, and they're not affected on the same day-to-day basis by the same things that the majority are, and sometimes they can get a little, jaded, a little forgetful, and then it takes, horrendous things to happen or traumatic things to happen for them to remember. Oh, wait a minute. I'm still Meek Mill's prime example. I'm Meek Mills. I got millions. But if I pop a wheelie on this street, they could put me back in them chains. You need to understand that. Like as long as we as a people are being misrepresented, treated unfairly and things like that, it's not going to be safe for none of us. So yeah, pay the family, but let's worry about the family at whole, the whole collective. You know what I'm saying? Because by all means, you being related to Nancy Grace had no impact on what happened to Nancy Grace. You being a descendant of Nancy Grace, you being about as much as a descendant as any other Black American out here of what been the whole carnage that's been going on as a whole, you're entitled to the same thing as they are. So we need to stop looking at it as individuals and take that sacrifice. Yo, I'm the family, but don't get the money to me, or at least give it to me, and I'll put it in nonprofits. I'll put it in HBCUs so we can get these numbers back up. We're at a point right now where a lot of our HBCUs are about to lose accreditation of even being a historically Black college because they got to appeal to different demographics just to keep their numbers up and get the money. I don't blame them. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, we got too many people out here with affluence, with fortune, for these situations to be happening. Let's put it back into the community. Let's build back within the community, become self-sufficient, self-sustaining, and then we don't need all of this extra outside foolishness. I don't care about Black Lives Matter being on a basketball court. Like I wouldn't be caring about that. You know why? Because I'm actually actively doing something that's actually contributing to what is actually the problem, a solution, not just a logo on a court, which I understand the sentiment. Don't get me wrong. Thank you. Bring the awareness, but what's next? That's how we do it, Blue. That's how we do it.
No, because I mean, obviously, I'm watching the game to watch basketball. I mean, that's just me. Like,
I'm not thinking. I mean,
I don't even care. I don't even care what jerseys you have on. Like, if I'm keeping it 100, is my team winning? That's what I want to know.
There you go. Hey, gentlemen. I appreciate the input. We're gonna have to definitely cut this one here, but I definitely appreciate the input. That was some good stuff. Hey, you guys are watching. It's about damn time. We appreciate you.
Clips.
And come follow me down this stop step and